Okay, welcome to all our avid watchers of the Gippsland League YouTube preview. We have round 11 coming up, and tonight we have Keith Anderson, our usual cohort, and tonight a special guest, Matty Gray, 100 game player for the Warragul Footy Club. Welcome, Matty.
Thanks, Chris.
Keith, last week we went from chocolates to boiled lollies, mate. We had about 29,000 hits the week before, and last week I think we were lucky to get about 70 or something, so we've come back down to earth.
Oh, I think it was in the 90 odd last time I looked, but I think Matty's more appealing than Acker, so I'll probably go up again this week.
Okay. All right, just a quick rundown of the games last week. Keith, Drew and Moe. Drew had a reasonably good win.
Yeah, it was, it was a workman-like win in very difficult conditions at Druin. Druin just did enough. Yeah, really had the game in control for most of the time, but it was a pretty hard, tough game, and two in a row for Druin, which I think is the first time this year, so it gives them a bit of confidence for the year ahead.
Okay, we got Leongatha Wonthaggi. Now that game got stopped early in the third quarter. We had an unfortunate incident with young Beau Vernon in an on-field collision, and Beau's in hospital at the moment, and we're waiting for Daryl and Kerry, his mother and father, to come back from South Africa, so statements will be made as to how bad or good his condition is. Everyone in Gippsland League is hoping that everything's okay and he's back on track as soon as possible, so all our best wishes to the Vernon family. Leongatha, once the game resumed, they a 20-point victory, so that was sort of expected.
Yep, yeah, and expected. That's just an unfortunate situation with the game. It must have been pretty hard for the players.
Yeah, it was. They're all in shock over Leongatha. So Traralgon Warragul, mate, didn't go in the end. It was a 9-goal loss, but I don't know, you got anything you want to say about it? Or?
Oh, look, it would have been nice to finish off with the fairy tale, on the 100 games for both myself and Morgs, but not to be. I think in the end Traralgon probably put a more polished team on the park, and they just delivered a lot better their forwards and kicked a lot more goals, obviously.
Yeah. And Morwell had a victory over Maffra, which that's opened it up again for Morwell. They're up and down like a yo-yo.
Well, I think I said last week they're the mystery side. They keep knocking off the good ones, and then have an unexpected loss, and it'll be very interesting as we go into this week, and they've got Warragul at Warragul here, just to see how they bounce up. But what their win has done for them is not just sort of really put them in the run for the 5, but by beating Maffra, they can now have a bit of a snip at the double chance if they're good enough. And I think they've got a good side. And I reckon they'll give the double chance a bit of a fright.
Okay. Sale had an easy victory against Bairnsdale on Sunday, and I think the less said about that, the better. But Sale obviously just too strong for Bairnsdale, who are still feeling their way in the Gippsland League. We'll go on to round 11. The first game is Moe hosting Sale.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as easy for Sale as probably positions on the ladder indicate, but Sale's just taken all before them this year. Their ability to crush sides last week against Bairnsdale was not so much a thrashing but humiliation, I think, and I don't know, but Moe's not bad and they'll be competitive. Sale is very good. I just love their defence, and they've got some potency down forward, and Rathnow, I think, bobbed up and kicked 7 goals at the weekend just to take a bit of, a little bit of pressure off poor Matt, who only kicked 6, and a few others chipped in and got a few. I expect Sale to win it.
Okay, Matty, what do you think?
I think Sale will run out comfortable winners, but Moe certainly they'll certainly put up a tough fight. They'll be very competitive.
Yeah, I'll go for Sale as well. So Bairnsdale hosting Wonthaggi, which is the longest trip in the league.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Wonthaggi was expected to do well. I'm not quite sure really how they're travelling. They haven't done anything this year which really caught anybody's attention. They've had a couple of clearances during the week. Lee Cummins, who went from Traralgon early in the year, has now departed. Andrew Seckel departing. Yeah, I'm just not quite sure what's going on down there. Earl Shaw's been out injured for a long time. Not quite sure. Bairnsdale's last 2 weeks have been terrible to say the least. They're at home. They've had some terrific wins there. Traralgon and Druin this year amongst them. So I really don't know what's going to happen here. I'll just go for Wonthaggi on their position on the ladder, but about last year's for Wonthaggi.
Yeah, no, it's interesting though. Wonthaggi's just outside the 5, but Bairnsdale's only 1 game behind them, so it's very close. Matty, what are your thoughts
I'm
on
going
that
to say Bairnsdale by a couple of points. Real close one.
Not real close. Okay, yeah, well, I think actually, yeah, I'll go with Bairnsdale as well. I think they'll knock them off on their home turf. Okay,
That's a big turnaround, 176 point defeat to win.
well, I mean,
They don't come much bigger than that, Chris.
they travelled to Wonthaggi early in the year and actually only lost by a couple of goals. So I think they'll, just for their own pride, they'll put up a much better effort. Okay, the next one's a blockbuster. Leongatha at home to Traralgon. That should be a great game.
Yeah, it'll probably say a lot
Sound
more.
Excited?
Yeah, no, it'll probably say a lot more about Traralgon than it will about Leongatha. Just how good Traralgon shapes up. They've been disappointing. Their side's not that much change from the premiership side of last year, but they've just sort of gone along this year, and I'd have thought, and I think they'd have thought they'd have been better placed at this stage of the year. Leongatha on their big ground, and it's a good side, even missing Bo Vernon. I just think Leongatha will have too much of them.
Okay, matey, you just have come off playing Traralgon?
Yeah, I'd say it'll be Leongatha for me too.
Right.
And won't be much in it though. A few goals.
Both good sides though? Yeah.
Both good sides. I think Leongatha seem to be a bit more polished, use the footy better. Traralgon, we seem to be able to hold them up a bit more. They weren't quite as attacking. Leongatha very strong if they got it into their forward line. So yeah, Leongatha for me.
Okay, yeah, I think Leongatha will be too strong. Maffra Druin. Your Hawks are travelling up to Maffra, and I believe you're staying the night, Keith.
We might just do that. Yeah, this is a really interesting game. Druin don't mind playing at Maffra, and they'll probably go in, one player or 2 players with as good a side as they can put on the park. We've had 2 wins in a row. I think it'll be a really good game, very spirited game, I think, and you've got to tend towards Maffra at home. They just seem to be able to do what they need to do at various times, but it wouldn't surprise me if Druin get up in this one. They're playing good footy, Druin, at the moment, and it just wouldn't surprise me. Things fall in, they get their matchups right, that they can handle Maffra.
Okay, Matty, what do you reckon, mate?
I'll have to put aside my Druin Warragul rivalry feelings, but I don't think it'll be a blown out contest, but there's something in the water when you go up there to Maffra, and they're very hard to beat at home, so it'll be Maffra for me.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you there, mate. Druin actually isn't playing that badly, but I just think they're a step below, the top sides, not far off it, like most of the teams, but yeah, Maffra. Now, I've kept the last one for last on purpose. Warragul hosting Morwell.
Yeah, this fits in a bit of the category like Druin Maffra, I think. We've got a league that produces surprise results virtually week on week. I I know Warragul's got its injury issues, and but they've been travelling okay. It's just a matter of putting the four quarters together. They're very unlucky not to beat Morwell at Morwell first time around. Yeah, I think, you know, form indicates Morwell, or performances indicate Morwell because of the sides they've beaten. But, yeah, saw them the week before last against through and looked $1 million for a quarter, and then looked, you know, 3 and 6pence for the rest.
A bit like our show, from chocolates to boiled olives.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another one that wouldn't surprise me if there's an upset. I'll go for more, but yeah, Warragul, they're playing okay. The kids are coming along well. You've got well led by their captain Matty over here, and you know, Mark Bradley in the ruck gives them a good chance, and with Quinton Rowe out, you know, others stepped up. I understand Mitch Demelius last week really stepped up well, and a couple of others to fill that role. So, yeah, I think it's just if they can find a way to go early, put a bit of scoreboard pressure on, you know, an upset's in the win. But I'll go for more.
Matty, what do you reckon, mate?
Oh, it's us at home for sure. Yeah, the Gulls will win this one, no worries.
Yeah, so how are you going with the Chief playing in the ruck, having your old key role? How did you get it? Sometimes you think, I wish the bugger had come down here and let me have a go. Or?
Yeah, certainly. I certainly still tell you to get up in the ruck and have a bit of a jump around, but given the last couple of years I've been pretty unfortunate with injuries, so it's been a pleasant change having someone to fill that role. Yeah, and not having to play there.
Yeah. What do you think's been a big step up with Warragul this year? I know Chris goes through ladders of company competitions and he looks at percentages of bottom teams. Now, your percentage, I can't read that, Chris.
67.72.
Yeah, that's not the highest percentage of,
it's one of the,
of a team that sits on the bottom of the ladder in a company comp. I don't know. It just proves how even the comp is, and how close Warragul's been so often, and yeah, they're on the way forward. They're going okay. Just need a bit of luck, and maybe it's next season because you've got those had a lot of long-term injuries this year. Just get a break, and you know, a couple more wins this year would really, I think, given circumstances, make it you know, quite a promising year for the Gulls.
Well, I think also too, we're up here tonight at Warragul, but it's the lights. The lights are fantastic, Matty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great addition to the club.
Yeah, that's been fantastic that we could manage to get the lights up and running for training this year. It's been good. We just missed the boat. We were going to play Maffra in a twilight game earlier on in the year. But yeah, the lights just weren't quite up to speed, weren't quite completed, so we just missed that, which would have been a good day, or good evening I should say. But yeah, I think there's plenty of promise there, and like you both touched on, with some long-term injuries this year, it's made it difficult. But I mean, look, we've had the addition of obviously Ben Hughes playing at centre forward, and he's put a lot more of that scoreboard pressure on too, being able to channel through him and take marks and deliver the footy, you know, longer to our forwards and give ourselves more opportunity to score. So, you know, having more than one marking option in the forward line's definitely helped. Would maybe one of the reasons why that percentage is a little higher than what you would normally see for a team sitting on the bottom of the ladder. But I think all in all, we had a big pre-season. We were up and about, and we were reasonably fit, and we lost the first couple of games, and then we lost more than the first couple of injuries. We just continued to drop away with long-term injuries, and it's not a battle now, but it certainly makes it difficult. So
Before we get off the lights, are twilight games or night games on the agenda for next year? And you know, any clubs out there willing to put their hand up to come to Warragul and play a twilight game?
I'd certainly hope so. I mean, we've certainly played our fair share of twilight or evening games over at Leongatha in the past. It'd be nice to see them to come over and play for the Hemming Cup over here. One game might be good, or you know, any one of the other clubs that have got good lights. You know, I'm sure we could have one this way and one that way would be good.
Yeah, and yeah, as Keith will attest, I'm a big pusher for alternate time games, and we'll see if we can fit in a couple for you next year, Matty, on when the time comes. I'm sure Peter Davis will send in the request at the required time. Yeah, I think that's about it. And look, apologies for our netball segment. Naomi's unavailable, and the guy we missed the most tonight is Fred. He's not here for some incisive remarks, but anyway, I keep looking over my shoulder to say something.
Seagull up there.
But there is a gull over there, so thank you very much for everyone, and thanks Keith and thanks Matty. See you all next week. Hi, we're at Warragul, home of the Gulls this week, and we've got one of the star players in Matty Gray. Matty, you just played your 100th game for the club.
Yeah.
Good effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucky enough to play my 100th on the weekend against Tarragona at Tarragona. It's been 6 years in the making, so it was a nice moment. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you enjoy the Gippsland League? The standard and all that?
Oh yeah, it's great if you can keep up. As I get older, it seems to get a bit faster and a bit harder to keep up. But yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
Oh, that's good. Look, we just got some questions to ask you, mate. What's your nickname?
Matty.
Matty. Okay, that's all right. Pretty simple. Do you have a top song on your iPod? What is it?
No, I don't do Apple products.
No.
No.
Yeah, you haven't got an iPod?
No iPod, no.
Okay, in the summer, mate, you obviously go to the beach and all that. What are you, a board shorts or a budgie smuggler man?
I'm definitely a board shorts
Board
man.
shorts, okay.
Yeah.
Now, outside of football, what's your top skill?
I don't think I'm all that skilled outside of football. I'm just your average Joe.
Yeah, you don't billiards, anything, pocket billiards.
No, I do a little bit of mountain bike riding and a little bit of motorbike riding, keep myself busy, but
Oh, well,
that's about it.
Now, dream car, mate. What would be your dream car?
Not a big car man, or just anything that goes forwards is good.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay. Look, who's the funniest person you know?
Oh, gee, funniest person. Local person. I don't know.
You haven't got any funny blokes up here at Warragul?
Lots of good funny guys getting about, but the funniest, hard to pinpoint one.
All right, no worries. So what do you actually hate spending money on?
Any sort of bill.
Any bill?
Yeah, any bill that comes in is no good.
Okay. What's your favourite saying?
Geez, I bet you these are good questions for me friends, I think. They probably know what I sound like more than I do.
Okay, that's all right. If you got a dream holiday destination, where would you love to go?
Well, I'm a big fan of Australia. Anywhere warm, anywhere up north.
Okay.
Warm.
Now, best player in the Gippsland League that you think?
That I've played against this year,
Or
or
whatever, this year, last year.
I reckon Matty Ferguson down at Sale's pretty polished. I reckon he's
The
just
full forward?
perfect.
Yeah, coach?
Perfect to finish off their hard work further up the ground. He does
Yeah.
well.
He's not bad. Now, the final one, who's your most annoying teammate? You've got to have one of them.
Yeah, I've probably got a few. But let's say the Chief.
The Chief,
Yeah.
all right. No worries, mate. Thank you very much, Matty.
No worries.
All right, that's it.